Hi, Mike Kennedy with you. Classic TV. I put a post on. I'll probably read some of the posts, but it was well received, so I thought I'd do the little video about it. And so, Classic TV. These are series that are mainly have been shot in black and white, and they have an element of mystery, and my wife and I enjoyed watching them together. Now, some of them we've watched the whole entire series, and some we just started. But the criteria I kind of used for this was that they needed to be filmed well. They need good plots and good characters. They have to have that element of mysteries. They need to have a moral with the good guys winning at the end and no characters jumping in bed with each other all the time. So that rules out just about all current programming, it would seem. And so Perry Mason first, 300 episodes, courtroom drama in a way, but it's also a detective show in a way. The 300 episodes, my wife and I have watched all of them. And Perry Mason's unique in that, for a courtroom drama, in that that's part of the plot, but almost more of the plot sometimes is him finding the killer, the actual person who murdered someone. And it's the show's like, sometimes they're in the court very little and they're out running around doing these other things, solving the crime. I guess that show was a breakthrough show in some ways, that most of these networks that were making shows didn't feel they could keep someone's attention for an hour. So everything was half hours. And this show really showed them that they could do hour-long programming. Next one is Code 3, 39 episodes. So this were supposedly based on real cases. The sheriffs of Los Angeles County, or Los Angeles itself. But it's funny because the show was canceled because it was considered too violent and too dark. And of course, we watch it and we're like, where is it too violent? I don't see violence. But, you know, things were different back then when they shot things. Peter Gunn, 114 episode. He's a private eye for hire. Now, Peter Gunn, the show is, it's excellently photographed. They have very good character development, and characters he just happens to meet during the show, or some of the characters that keep returning. This one that he will, you know, basically what everybody respects Peter Gunn, the bad guys and the good guys. So he can go to his snitches, he doesn't call them that, but and find out information to help solve the problem, whatever the problem is he's working on. The Saint, 118 episode. Good all-around guy solving problems. Some of it's, you could think where it's not really spying, but it is in certain ways. But it's very good. I think the last 2 seasons of that were shot in color. And of course, the color isn't preserved as well as the black and white. Oh, and I should mention here that sometimes a series will be on YouTube at an incredibly low resolution. It's actually unpleasant to watch it. And usually when it gets into a streaming service, they have the highest quality copy that you can get. So with Perry Mason, this was dramatically different. You know, I saw an episode on there and played a little bit, and it was really poor quality, where, you know, we had watched the series on one of the, on the Roku app in one of the channels, and it was much better quality. And that's the other thing. These are all available through some streaming device like the Roku. I suppose with the Apple and the Chromecast, that you could get these same channels, like Tubi, Pluto, Freebie, and like I say, there's a bunch of these. And, you know, sometimes they show up on paid channels, but you kind of just have to wait till they get over to the free ones. When we were watching Perry Mason, it was on a paid channel that we subscribed to, and then it started moving around. And you'll see that with a lot of the shows. You know, like they might be on Netflix first or Hulu first, but then as time goes on, they switch other places. And if you're watching, you know, Perry Mason an hour every night, you've got 300 days before you have to worry about running out. The Naked City, that's one we're starting right now, and we think it's really good. It's crimes in New York City, loosely based on real cases, I would say, because, you know, they've got to have the main characters in there. I mean, with all crime shows, the character does a lot more than that character would do. It's kind of like he gets all the cases, you know, in different types of cases, whereas you would find, you know, different people involved with different cases. And that's well done as far as the photography is concerned, too. And then we have Danger Man or Secret Agent Man. These are Patrick McGowan stars. He's a member of some, you know, kind of international organization and he goes and basically solves problems with people. You know, sometimes he has to get someone out of a country. Sometimes he has to do this or do that. And this is a show that could have benefited from being an hour long because the plot is really compressed and there's a lot of elements in it. And it's kind of the opposite of Peter Gunn. Peter Gunn, there's not a complicated plot usually. It's very uncomplicated. And he just takes his time going through it. And, Peter Gunn, you have Henry Mancini is the music. So it's scored well. And that's, you know, the element of plot, like I say, is a simple plot where you get to something like Danger Man. It was called Danger Man in Britain. And then they wanted to market it to the U.S., and they changed the title and called it Secret Agent Man. Well, the title song for it that they play every day, that just took a life of its own. Secret Agent Man, they've given you a number and taken away your name. That's as much as I remember the song, but it was a very catchy song. It did well as a standalone song, and it's interesting that Patrick McGowan, at one point, it seemed like in you know, England or whatever, the UK, he was just crazy popular, and he couldn't stand it. And so he, you know, went over to the US where I forget if it was Los Angeles or Hollywood, where he said celebrities were a dime a dozen. I saw that he appears on 3 or 4 episodes of Columbo, so I might go back. Columbo isn't a show I enjoy watching. It's too slow. I mean, I watched it at the time, and those couple episodes I might watch. So there we have it. And like I say, if you're patient, I think you can watch these all free. At least, you know, if you're watching one a night or whatever. And my wife and I really enjoy doing that. So much of today's TV is really poor, I think. And I will warn you, though, except for, say, Danger Man, they did things differently back then. The camera stayed in one spot longer. Now, I think with our instant society and our whatever newer shows that do now, the camera's changing positions all the time. The plot's, taking twists all the time. And with these shows, it's not like that. It's filmed in a completely different way. You could say in some ways it's filmed more like a movie rather than a TV show. So you might initially have to slow yourself down to watch it and enjoy it. Tell me what you think. Tell me your shows below. Like I say, these were shows that both my wife and I would watch together. If you have some other show, someone mentioned to me, oh, Twilight should be on there. And probably it should, but we haven't started watching that. But if you know of any other shows, early shows available to stream, and hopefully, like I say, they'll eventually get around to one of the free channels. Bye.